everyone. Welcome to another episode of The O Show. I'm O, and I'm here for your amusement. Okay, so I actually was not planning on doing this video because I forgot this movie came out today. Well, I don't know. By the time you see this video, this movie has just released. Let's put it that way. I am talking about Candy Cane Lane, which is a 2023 release on Amazon Prime, starring Eddie Murphy in his first holiday movie. Can you believe that? He's never did a holiday movie before, you guys. Okay, so look at I think I'm going to do this movie in two parts, because the movie just came out. Maybe I'll give people a chance to see it before I trash it, but I'm not going to trash it, per se. I'm going to do this in two parts. I'm going to give my nice version of a review. And then let's talk about it later. Okay, so if you haven't seen the movie, I will talk about it a little bit. I will give my review, and then I will let y'all go to bed while I talk to the adults staying up late. Okay, so anyway, Candy Cane Lane. So the movie is cute. It's really cute. It really is. I do have to say I liked that it's different, meaning it's not the cliche there's Santa Claus. Oh, I don't believe in Santa Claus, and then the whole movie Santa's trying to convince the person to believe in Santa Claus, and we don't get that. This is a totally complete movie, which I appreciate. It is based around the 12 Days of Christmas song. And there's this neighborhood that Eddie Murphy and his wife, played by Tracy Ellis Ross, live in with their 3 kids. And every year at Christmas, everyone decorates their house. There's a contest to see who's the winner. Well, this year, apparently, this contest is sponsored, so there's a $100,000 gift prize. We'll talk about that later. And yeah, Eddie Murphy just lost his job, so he's like, I'm going to win this prize. So he stumbles upon this magical store under this freeway above. He buys something inside. Well, is it in the trailer? Whatever. He buys this tree, and each layer of the tree represents the 12 days of Christmas, right? So you got the 12 drummers drumming at the bottom, all the way to the top, where the partridge in a pear tree is the tree topper. But when he buys it, he didn't read the fine print on the receipt, and now he is playing a deadly game with this elf played by Jillian Bell, who's running amok. And if you don't play her game right, by 8 o'clock p.m., I believe it's the New Year's Eve, night of New Year's Eve, you turn into this figurine that she has in this tiny house village inside this magical shop. Okay, does Eddie beat her, or does she win? Well, of course he wins. We all know. But yeah, that's pretty much what the movie's about. Like I said, it's cute. Will I watch it again? Yes. I really enjoyed it. I love the cast. So, like I said, it's Eddie Murphy, Tracy Ellis Ross, Jillian Bell. You have the voices of Chris Redd, Robin Thede, Nick Offerman, David Alan Grier is in the movie. Angela Johnson Reyes is in the movie, which I feel like they didn't give her enough to do. Hello, Bonquiqui. Give her something to do. She's just this neighbor who's just there with her husband. I don't know who plays her husband, but Ken Marino's across the street, so he does a little stuff here and there, but when Ken Marino's around, it's always a good time. Who else is this movie? DC Young Fly, Danielle Pinnock. Yeah, there's a lot of people in this movie, so the cast is pretty sweet. 2 hours. There's a reason it's 2 hours, so I'll get into it, but Animation I do like. It wasn't like cheap animation. Like they took the time to put stuff together, especially with the little figurines that you see like in the trailer. And I like the production. The production I thought was pretty good. The effects are pretty good. I didn't have any issues with that. It's just when it gets to the storyline, I have some problems with that. So, before I lay the smack down on this movie, because look, y'all, like I'm trying to be nice. Like I just already like bashed. What's that movie called? Dashing Through the Snow with Little Rel Howery and Ludacris. You know, that was another like, I don't believe it's Santa. There's no Santa. So I appreciate this movie just being different, and I didn't take it seriously because it's a holiday Christmas movie, and it's Eddie Murphy's first Christmas movie. Like, give the man a chance. All right, so as far as ratings, I would give this movie 3 out of 5 shots. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull these from the end. I want to give it 2, but I'm gonna give it 3 because I am in the holiday spirit. Okay. All right, so cheers. By the way, this is if you take like Bailey's and mix it with butterscotch, like schnapps, it's so good, you guys. It's a holiday miracle. Alright, so, like I said, if you haven't seen the movie or you're going to watch the movie, like, go watch it. We're going to have a little intermission. And when we come back, we're going to have adult talk. Alright, I'll see y'all later. All right, y'all. So now that the kids are asleep, let's talk about this damn movie. So, okay, the first act, bam, loved it. I'm invested. I'm like, okay, let's see what's gonna happen. The movie loses me in the second act, and then I have problems with the third act. But like, okay, so when he gets this tree, right? He wins, or he impresses the neighborhood and whatever. But then the next day, he comes out and he notices that every figure that's on the tree, like the Lord's leaping and the swans are gone and the 5 rings are gone. Like everything's just kind of gone. And he thought someone vandalized it and just took all those symbols off. It turns out that each of the layers of the tree, they're now running around. They're there. They're somewhere. Like they're going to pop up somewhere in some time, right? So I like that concept. What is it? The 12 drummers drumming, 11 pipers are piping, 10 lords leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a milking, 7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 golden rings, 4 collie birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and the partridge in the pear tree. So the issue is he now has to find the 5 gold rings, right? And if he can get hold and have the 5 golden rings in his hands by 8 p.m. on this particular clock that's inside this store on Christmas Eve, his wish will come true. And his wish is to win this like neighborhood contest and the $100,000, which we learn later. The $100,000 is like taco coupons. So stupid. So things start happening, like on his car, the 2 turtle doves appear, and they have a string. Is the string in their mouth or just around their necks? Anyway, there's a string and there's a ring on it. So there's ring number 1. Okay, boring. So later on, like his wife goes to work and the 6 geese are laying. So they're flying. As they're flying, they're fucking dropping eggs out their cooch. So they're dive bombing people below with fucking goose eggs. So I'm like, okay. And then while the wife's at work in this like factory, Jillian Bell's character, who's the elf that Eddie buys the tree and gets this whole mess with in the first place, her character's name is Pepper, and apparently she's an elf that used to work at the North Pole, and then she lost her mind, and Santa kicked her out, and now she just, I guess, goes around casting witch spells on people. So I guess Eddie is now the fourth singular person victim. There's a caroling group in this movie. Like every time, like, you know, you can't have an Eddie Murphy movie without him saying like fuck. But he doesn't. He never says fuck. He gets to the letter F or the f, and this caroling group like sings in, and that was kind of annoying. And then it dawned on me like, why do they keep featuring this caroling group? Like, who are they? It's just this group of figurines who are carolers who also got cursed. So I guess I'm assuming they wanted to be, I guess, the best caroling group, and they didn't pass their test. But, y'all, it's fucking like Pentatonics. I always forget there's a group called Pentatonics 11 months out of the year. And I swear, every Christmas, they end up showing up on TV somewhere or in some damn movie. So this year, they're in this movie. So, alright. Anyway. So, Jillian Bell's character, she sometimes says things in riddles or what have you, and you kind of have to figure out what she's talking about. So that's what I thought this movie was going to be. So I was like, okay, I'm invested, right? Because did you ever see the first Percy Jackson movie, right? He had a map, and when he went to different areas on the map, he would defeat somebody and he would get a pearl, right? I thought that's what's going to happen. I thought he had to figure out like locations around town, maybe him and his daughter, because his little daughter's with him. And I thought they were going to have to like figure things out, go somewhere, and then you have to fight the 8 maids milking, or you have to fight the 10 lords of leaping, which they do fight the 10 lords of leaping. I'll get to that in a minute. But no, it's just that things just randomly appear, and then they go, oh, that person has a ring. Whoop, snatch. Okay, I got a ring. So some rings were like easy to get, some rings I'm like, why? So this elf is like showing up at the wife's work. She shows up at his house. She shows up at the kids' school. Like one of the kids is having like a track meet thing. Like, how does she know where they live? And like, I don't know. I don't get it. Okay, so speaking back to the Lord's Leaping. So his oldest daughter is she's on a track. She's trying to get a scholarship to college, and she has like scouts in the stands as she goes to this track meet. And so one of the lords like appears while she's running, and he has a ring around his neck. But now the other 9 are like on the field. So Eddie Murphy comes out of the stands, and he's fighting them. But the thing is, whenever you get a ring, the characters that has the ring will just turn back to the cardboard version of what they were on his tree. This is probably not making sense to like half of y'all. I don't know if I'm saying this right. But when you defeat the thing, so like in this case, the 10 Lords of Leaping, yeah. Like if you get the ring from them, you now defeated and got the ring from them. So instead of them being like human, they turn back to whatever their picture was on the tree, and they turn into like a flat cardboard, and they just fall over on the ground. So here's my thing, and this is why I kind of wish they did go to like secluded areas, and then maybe they fought the 10 Lords of Leaping, because when they turn into these cardboard cutouts, no one in the audience is like really reacting to this. Like, the very next scene, it's them just kind of, you know, the family is walking, and they run into someone, and they're talking, and everyone else in the stands are just kind of going home, but you never see no one go, holy shit! Oh, fuck! Oh, my God! What the fuck just happened? Like, you never see anyone, like, react to the fact that these 10 guys turn into cardboard for no reason. Well, you know, people don't know why. They don't know that the guy or she, the girl, took the ring off the one guy on the track, but the other ones just, what do they do with them? Are they just still on the field now? Because, again, everyone just seems to leave the track meet like nothing happened. So are these things just there? See, that's the shit that gets me crazy. I'm trying not to take this movie serious, but how do you explain shit like that? It's not like you see it just kind of like fade into dust and just go. But still, even if it did, I still want that reaction. Like, the people were just like, okay, let's go home and eat some hamburger helper. Like, I don't know. Like, no one is freaking out. And speaking of the song, okay, hey Phoebe. So the 12 drummers drumming, 11 pipers piping. They end up in the end of the movie, at the big climax, and each one, there's one person out of all of them that has, one of the drummers, one of the pipers. They each have a ring, and they have to get the rings or whatever. And I'll get to that in a minute. So everything, like I said, is presented, but I don't recall seeing 9 ladies dancing. Unless I missed it, but they had nothing to do with this movie, so I'm kind of upset about that because, like I said, 12 drummers drumming, 11 pipers piping, 10 lords leaping. There's a maid milking a cow, which is a scene that I don't think was needed. Like, the family's like son sneaks away because he's really bad at math. He's failing math, but he loves music. But then at one point, he like sneaks away from the family and goes into this room and starts like sampling someone else's song. It's not like he was playing like an original song. Like, he was just, I don't know. Anyway, he got bombarded by a maid milking a cow in the room. And then she squirts milk at him, and there's so much milk it floods the room. And I didn't even realize there was a ring around her neck, because later he shows up with a ring and then her cardboard version with the cow. Oh gosh. So what's that? 8 maids milking, 7 swans are swimming. The swans were in the family's pool at the very beginning. That's the first thing you see. 6 geese a laying, we mentioned. 5 golden rings. 4 calling birds. So Eddie Murphy's getting like these like prank calls on his phone. And then one of his daughters was like, oh, I know why you're getting prank calls. 4 calling birds. So I guess there's birds calling him, which I guess makes sense because when you see his phone, it's kind of hard to kind of see, but it does look like a bird. Like, you know how if someone calls you, it's an unknown call, there's no face that's attached to anyone in your contacts? Well, this face was not a human face. It was like a shadow of a parrot. Oh, I get it now. You know what? Now as I talk about it, now I got it. Because I was like, how am I supposed to know this? So, yeah. And then the 3 French hens are in the lady's work. The 2 turtle doves land on his car. And then the partridge in the pear tree is like what started this whole thing, because he has to rub that to make the wish. But yeah, I ain't seen no 9 ladies dancing. But if I missed it, let me know in the comments below. Help a brother out. Alright, so you know what? Let's just fast forward to the end of the movie. So at the end of the movie, the time frame to get the 5 rings is kind of running out. So the last ring ends up being like Pepper, the elf. She's all like, for you to get the last ring, you have to get help from the elf. No, you have to get help from someone on a shelf. Something stupid. So it ends up being like an elf on a shelf. But since she's an elf, you have to get the ring from her. So it's around her neck, and they trick her and grab it. And so they're like, yeah, we got all 5 rings. But apparently there's a twist. The twist is, it's not only 5 rings they have to get. I don't know why they made this so complicated. So, okay, now bear with me. Since the 12 days of Christmas, it's not just saying once. It's actually saying 12 times, right? The first verse is the partridge in the pear tree. Then you have to sing the song again, starting with 2. 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. Then you have to sing the song a 3rd time, right? So, you get to 5, which is the 5 golden rings. Now, when you get to 6 geese are... Wait, no. Wait, no. Wait. 6 geese a laying, right? So, 6 geese a laying, 5 golden rings. So now you've said 5 twice. Okay, I'm not winning this whole hand demonstration. But do you get what I'm saying? So you're literally saying the 5 golden rings 8 times. 8 times 5 is 40. So They have to actually get 40 rings. It's like, how the hell are we going to do that? Then all of a sudden, Pepper like unleashed these geese onto the crowd, and a lot of these geese have rings around their necks. Why? You're helping them. If you're going to spring a surprise like that on us and them, makes sense. Don't just be like, oh, you need to have 40 rings, so I guess I will help you. So now, what drove me crazy is you have these geese flying around the crowd that's outside, and it just seems like they're all just running in circles because this scene is so long, but there's so many people still on the street just running around going, ah, because the geese are again a-laying. They're laying eggs and dive bombing people with eggs. So if you really wanted to get out of the crossfire, you would go run into someone's house or run home, go around the corner, like get out of this area. And so that drove me crazy. So now you kind of have the family grabbing rings, and what drove me crazy is no one took the advantage of this crowd to say, hey, you know what, instead of going, try to grab these rings and then bring them to me. They don't do that. There's people just running around stupidly. So, what happened after that? So yeah, then all of a sudden you get the 12 drummers drumming and the 11 pipers piping because reasons. I'm not gonna. Okay, so they end up with like 38 rings, right? And then you think like, oh, they lost, but they actually do have the 40. I'm not gonna tell you because I already did hard work. I watched the movie. Go watch the movie. And they end up winning, and then Santa Claus comes, and Santa Claus is played by David Allen Greer. Ooh, y'all, we got 2 movies in 1 year with 2 black Santa Clauses. Hey, okay. So, yeah, so David Allen Greer is Santa Claus in this movie. And, he, like, tells Pepper, like, ooh, you've been naughty, but you can come back to the North Pole, and... So now, here's what I don't get. So, Pepper has this stupid witch store, witch, W-I-T-C-H store, and it's still there, but she never goes back to the North Pole. Like, Santa then turns her into like a figurine. Did I mention these figurines? I don't know. They're figurines who lost Pepper's trick, like Eddie Murphy was about to, and she turned them into like these figurines. So they all turn back into humans, right? Because of a wish made at the end of the movie, and everyone who's a figurine turns back human. But then Santa turns Pepper into a figurine. But then at the end of the movie, it seems like Eddie Murphy, who I said lost his job at the beginning of the movie, now has a job, and he seems to be the new owner of Kringle's, the place where he bought the tree in the first place. Why? I think so they could just make the joke that his character's name is Chris Carver, which I'm sure I never said that this whole review. His name is Chris Carver. The place is called Kringle's. See what they did? So now the sign says Chris Kringle's because he's the new owner. They see what they did there? But what I don't get is, like, this place is still bewitched, ain't it? Like, is he now setting prices for things inside? Like, I would be scared to sell this shit to anyone else in fear that it's cursed. I don't know. And, by the way, at the beginning of the movie, when they come back to the store, when they think that their stuff got stolen, there was a customer that came through that door. So it's not like this place was like, no one sees it. It's apparently there because a customer came in. And she was like, ooh, a customer. So did this customer sign his shit away too and is dealing with the same issue? Because we never go back to this person. We don't know who he is. See what I'm saying? See the shit they do in this movie? Like, I see what they're doing to be cute, but what's the overall outcome of these situations? Yeah, I think that's the end of my rant, so. Are you going to watch what's this movie called? Candy Cane Lane. And, or have you watched it already? You've had a bit of time today to watch it. I'm trying to look at what time it is right now. Alright, y'all. So, yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think, what you thought, if you've seen it. Yeah. Am I crazy? Okay, look, again. I'm not bashing the movie. I'll probably watch it again. Not this year. I'll probably watch it again next year. And I go, oh, I'm gonna watch that Eddie Murphy movie again. Because I got other reviews to do for my holiday orphathon. So yeah. This video is too long. So please like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next festive episode. So alright, so till then, TTFN, y'all. Bye.